Hello, New Bern, and welcome to This Week with City Hall. I am Alderman Sabrina Bengel, and I'm here today with our special guests. I have Jamie Turner, and I have Lynn Han with the New Bern Preservation Foundation. Good afternoon, ladies. How are you today?
Good afternoon.
We're so excited to have you here today because this is a great topic that I know many people will find really interesting because it's not always done every year, and that's a River Homes Tour. We have so many beautiful homes on our river. Of course, that's what makes New Bern so special is the two beautiful rivers we have, the Trent and the Neuse. And I think what a wonderful way. So we're going to talk a little bit about the River Homes Tour, but first tell me a little bit about the Preservation Foundation and what it does here in New Bern. Lynn or Jamie?
It was founded in 1972. It was one of the first true preservation organizations that is the heart of preserving history for ongoing purposes in New Bern. They used to preserve blocks of properties, and there have been many established covenants, and they're all on the website. It is now has a full board. They're all volunteer, and it's been in operation for 46 years. It's truly a brick and mortar foundation.
Well, the neat thing about the Preservation Foundation is that they have stepped up to save homes that would have otherwise been torn down. And an interesting fact that during the 1960s, prior to the Preservation Foundation forming, many of our beautiful homes, mostly on Broad Street, were torn down. And somebody told me that we did more destruction to our city in the 60s than we did during the Civil War when the Yankees invaded us and came here because, you know, they loved our community. They said, preserve everything, don't burn down houses, don't tear up anything. But during the 60s, we had this thought process that it was old and we wanted to tear it down. Therefore, Preservation Foundation was formed to really save these beautiful structures. And I know that this group has worked very, very hard throughout the years in taking structures that were in imminent danger, either of disrepair or of being torn down, and either work to purchase them or work with the property owners. You know, another thing I know that preservation does, and you talked a little bit about it, is covenants. And maybe if you take a minute to explain it, a lot of people don't understand what a covenant is and why you do that. Are you able to talk about that?
Once a property is restored as a result of the efforts of the foundation, and if it is a historic property, they established a protective covenant. That is to disallow any construction or walls tearing out without the preservation board at least previewing it prior to that being done. That protects the integrity of the historical structure.
Such as maybe a porch being torn off or certain windows being removed, something like that.
And I think what people need to understand is that a lot of people have a negative connotation when they hear the word covenant. But if you look at our downtown and the appeal that it has to all of the tourists who come and visit and want to walk around and look at our historic homes, they do that because we are so careful to make sure that we maintain the honest presence of that house, what it was and what it should be and what it will continue to be, as long as we take care of it with covenants, which are not a bad word.
No, not at all. You know, another bit of misinformation that we have here in this community is the different names for our different hard-working volunteers, and that is we have a New Bern Preservation Foundation, which is at the crux of saving historic buildings and raising funds to do projects such as the depot, which we're going to talk about in a minute. And then there's the Historic Preservation Commission, which is a quasi-judicial board that has to render decisions and really works hand in hand with Preservation Foundation when people want to make changes to their home. Because some homes do not have covenants on them. So if people want to change windows, add additions, whatever, they must be in line with the historic ordinances. So I see the two work together, but people are very confused about the two organizations. And of course we have our wonderful historical society that really preserves the history of our community. So I could see where, you know, it could be, misunderstood in a lot of ways. But, you know, more recently, let's talk about this really major project that preservation is supporting, and that is the restoration of the Union Station, or the Union Depot. A beautiful, beautiful old train depot that was the hub of New Bern back in the day, and I'm so pleased that the organization has, agreed to work on this. So could you talk a little bit about that project, and then we'll talk about the reason you're raising money for it.
Well, I think Lynn can speak more to that, but I think it's important that everybody understands that this is not the foundation renovating this building. This is the foundation supporting the city and the railroad working together to really take what had become an eyesore in many cases and creating something beautiful again and letting it be that center hub of the community again to give us a place to gather as a community.
Yes, and we're in the foundation, not myself, but the foundation as a whole is in phase 2, and they are currently actively restoring, finishing the bottom floor. Some windows either need repairing or replacing, which that is currently being done. The floor is a mess right now, but they are replacing flooring. And once that's done, there will be another public showing. They hope to have something else in the spring, maybe late in May, that allows the public to see the progress. It's a slow progress. It looks like sometimes that there's nothing going on there, but there's a lot going on behind the scenes.
Well, there is, and again, as you stated earlier, this is a project. The property is actually owned by the state of North Carolina. North Carolina Railroad owns the property. It is leased to Norfolk Southern Railroad, who has, in cooperation with the state of North Carolina, partnered with the city of New Bern to lease the building. So
It doesn't get more complicated.
It doesn't get more complicated than that. But the great news is that the New Bern Preservation Foundation has become a partner in raising the funds to do that. Because otherwise, this project, the roof itself, I believe, was in the neighborhood of $400,000 to $500,000 to replace that roof, and that was phase 1. That was the first thing that had to be done to preserve the interior of the building because water was pouring in there. We were very fortunate to get a grant from NCDOT in cooperation with the North Carolina Railroad, but that ended there, and we still needed to repair the interior windows and doors. So I just can't say enough about the work of New Bern Preservation Foundation in having fund drives and doing other things to raise the funds necessary to rehab that building. And that brings us here to the very important topic of the River Homes Tour. And tell us a little bit about it, Jamie, what's going to happen, when the date is, what's going to happen, and what those funds are going to be used for.
Well, during this time, most people are used to saying the Spring Homes Tour, and so that has become a tradition in our area. So this is just a unique twist on that, and we have 11 homes on the tour. We have on the Neuse River, on the Trent River, on both sides of the Trent River. We have Matamore's Lane side, we have the Trent Woods side of Trent River, and then of course we have several along the Neuse River. We have 4 on the Neuse River, 4 on the Trent Woods side of Trent River, and then 3 on Matamore's Lane. And I think the greatest thing about this is these homes are from 1920 to 2017. So you're going to see a wide variety of architecture, you're going to see a wide variety of views. We brag about our rivers. The Neuse River is your ideal sunrise. The Trent River is your ideal sunset. So you really have an opportunity to get a feel for what that's like.
Okay, and when will this take place?
So
May 18th and May 19th. It's a Friday and a Saturday.
So 2 days where people can come out and really, really enjoy to see something that's very unique to Eastern North Carolina.
And it's a self-guided tour, so you can get one of our brochures. You can visit one of our areas of distribution, get the brochure. So you don't have to go to all 11 if you're not interested. If you really only want to see the homes that have more of a historic twist on them, you can do that, or you can see all 11 and you can do it at your own pace. And when you go to the homes, there'll be hosts there to greet you, and they'll take you and let you tour through the home, give you a little bit of the history of the home, or in the case of the home that was built in 2017, explain to you what their dream was with this home, and you'll get to see some really unique architecture.
Well, that's really awesome. So if people wanted to get more information about this tour, costs, where they could buy tickets, where could they go to get more information?
Well, this Saturday, they could go visit our wonderful farmers market, and we'll have a table set up with information and brochures. Of course, Mitchell's Hardware, we have several participating groups, Downtown Carolina Creations, Mitchell Hardware, of course,
the Convention Center.
Mm-hmm.
Well, great, so they can go there, and of course, what is the website? I know you must have a website, the way to get information from there.
We do, and it's
.org.
Yes, at newbernpf.org. And I know in this new day of millennials and all these wonderful people, we are going to be doing social media. So can they find you on Facebook, or you have a Facebook page?
Yes, the foundation does have a Facebook page.
Cool. So all this information will be there, and we'll do some Facebook Live that day. It would be great to see some of the homes, to show afterwards, or whatever. To post that. That would be really good. And I know people are going to ask this, so let's disclaimer it right now. Nicholas Sparks' home is not on the tour.
We've already been asked that.
I've heard that question many, many times. So
it is not on the tour.
But you can drive by.
Right, disclaimer. So, but this is a really neat addition. I know they did it maybe 10 years or more ago. They did a river home tour, and I remember how popular it was then. So this is a really unique way for people to view our beautiful community by going to these wonderful homes. And we really want to thank the people who took the time to open their homes, because I know I have been on many tours, from the Holly and Ivy to the Spring Homes to the Christmas, to the Ghost Walk, so I know what it takes, and you appreciate every person who steps up to do it.
And they spend a lot of time the weeks before getting cleaned up and painted and prepped and print.
Yes. And also, I think this is unique. We talked about this the other day. Someone said this is a driving homes tour, which creates this scenic New Bern that some people don't see. Because if it's just a walking tour in the historic district, which is wonderful as well, you may miss so much about New Bern if you've never visited New Bern before. And so I've already had a couple of people mention that they're looking forward to going to see all of New Bern for this tour.
Well, and I think one of the neat things is several of the homes on the tour are homes that have been around for a long time, a part of our history. And the painstaking love that has gone into the renovations of those homes to honor the history, I think people are really going to enjoy hearing about.
And it's good. I will tell you, my husband always hated when I went on these tours because he said it cost him money when I came home, because I got all these great ideas. So I think that, it is awesome to go and see how people's tastes are, and they decorate. It does inspire us, and I think that's good. But, we are all so blessed to live in this really unique community where people are willing to open their homes for a great cause. That cause is for raising funds for Union Station restoration. We're in phase 2. Phase 3, I'm sure, will come behind it. So, but if you're really interested in learning more about the Union Station, if you'd like to make a one-time large donation, please go or seek out somebody from Bern Preservation Foundation. They have opportunities for you to donate. You might not be in town that day, but would really like to assist in some way. Please go to their website, get up with these lovely ladies here, or contact me. I'm happy to forward you the information so you can get in touch with Bern Preservation Foundation. Great organization helping to preserve New Bern at its very, very best. I hope to get you all involved one day in this beautiful building, because it needs a little love and attention. So we'd like for this project to come online. It has lots of history here, but Jamie Turner, Lynn Han with Bern Preservation Foundation, thank you so much for being here today and telling us a little bit about this. And everybody, if you have a chance, get some more information about the River Homes Tour. You don't want to miss this great New Bern event. And I'm Sabrina Bengel, Alderman of the 1st Ward, and this is This Week from City Hall. Have a great day.